Okay.
Tricia Carey, welcome to my living room.
Great. Thank you for having me. It's so different seeing you in your living room because normally I see you with like several cameramen and all glammed up. So
Yeah, no glam
I've
here.
seen this
That's
other side too.
yeah,
Yeah.
no glam here at all. But I'm actually really excited to talk with you like this because whenever we do see each other, like you said, it's always an event. There's always stuff going on. And, we're always in like such work mode and running around and thinking about 50 different things. And now we can just be one-on-one. So this is really cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very,
So
very different
Tricia,
not having all those events and places to go and things to do and, connecting with people. It's really strange. And it's great that you're doing this series because I also think when we look back on this time in a year, 5 years, 10 years, you have, such an array of how people were really living their daily lives. So I really enjoy your series here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So HIP New Jersey viewers will know who you are, but in case that they don't recognize you, Tricia is the Director of Global Business Development at Lensing Fibers. And we work together on the Denim Days festivals and, initiatives with TENCEL and Lensing, and it's been really fun. So I just want to start out by thanking you, first of all, for those opportunities because they've been really, really great. What's going on in your industry right now?
Yeah, well, when retail stores close, it just kind of trickles through. So Tencel is a fiber that is made from wood, from trees, and we're an ingredient brand in many of your favorite apparel retail brands. Anywhere ranging from Target to Mara Hoffman to Eileen Fisher, Nike, Levi's, Gap. And as soon as those stores started to close, then we saw everything trickle through the supply chain. So it meant factories weren't getting orders, mills weren't, making fabrics, and it goes through the rest. For Lensing, our company, we're still open, we're still shipping, we're servicing customers as best that we can. We also, our fiber is used in nonwoven applications. So many of your cleaning wipe products, and we do see an increase in cleaning products and sales of that. Those do use our fibers. So we're able to supply, in fact, out of our facility here in the United States in Mobile, Alabama. So I think there's a lot of changes that will happen out of this in our industry. So right now we're dealing with the store closures. I think you're going to see mergers, acquisitions, and bankruptcies. We already saw a couple out of LA. In Europe, there were also some retail stores that were starting to close. And, I think we'll just see a total change in the landscape. And overall, it's, how will the consumer, how will citizens change? What will the mood be after this? And what will you need from apparel? Now we are all wearing our sweatpants and comfortable clothes, and Tencel's great for that. I'm wearing my
Oh, it
Tencel
definitely
today.
is.
Yeah. But you haven't been shopping. I mean, who really feels inspired to buy anything new for spring? And there are a lot of online promotions now, but there's not really a huge drive to buy. And as we eventually will come out of this, what will we be looking to buy? Will we still seek that comfort? Will we look for our apparel to protect us more, to protect us from any further health issues? Will antimicrobial, antibacterial, will you be looking for that? Now people have to wear face masks. I mean, I don't know about you, but I never even owned one prior to this. And it's sort of awkward to wear it. My husband's always reminding me to wear it if I go out, because it doesn't feel strange. And I think for you and I, because we're so much about talking to people and connecting, you feel like it puts a shield that it doesn't allow you to do that. But now we have 330 million people in the United States that are going to be buying masks, and it's going to be, our new accessory. Do we have our cell phone, our purse, and do we have our mask?
Especially working and living in New York like we do.
Yes. Yes.
In the New York area. Because when they do eventually open back up, I think it's going to be, you have to walk around like that.
You're going to have to walk around like that. Stores, will you feel comfortable shopping in a store if the salespeople don't have masks? I mean, even now, you kind of, if you do any, you know, pickup of food, you're kind of looking for that. It's becoming a new way that you judge then if a place is safe or not. And it's interesting because I've even had some of the retailers that I work with say, we're all connecting in the supply chain. How can we help each other to make sure that masks, and not medical grade masks, but just, you know, consumer level masks are available. And of course, it's what can be produced here in the United States, because I think this is one thing that we see. And I think, you know, consumers will be very attuned to this and looking at where are their garments coming from. We see how much we're interconnected, knowing how this, you know, passed throughout the world. Will we look then to have more supply chains right here that we can control? And so I do have some retailers that have contacted me about, hey, you know, if we reopen our stores, we have to make sure that our workers are protected. So
Lensing Tencel, you have factories in Asia, and
yes.
they've now since reopened. What is the climate like over there?
Yes, I think it's still very tentative. I was talking to some of my colleagues in Hong Kong the other night. It's still optional whether or not people have to go to work or if they're working from home. You're hearing more the factories are opening, but they're still waiting for those orders to come through, you know, and our supply chain customers. We have a factory in Nanjing, China that is producing. But again, with all of this shutdown, it's not like a light switch and you just turn it on and everything's back again. There's going to be steps in all of this. And with that, changes. You can't go back to the same level of how we were all working before.
Absolutely. And, you know, I know events in your industry, you go to so many events that we've been to together. I mean, how have they changed?
Yes, well, the cancellation of events, and it's funny because I was traveling up until March 9th, and our office, we switched to work from home on March 13th. So it's strange for me to not have an agenda, a flight scheduled, trade show, meetings with customers. So the trade shows have pretty much all been canceled until about July. I'm starting to see the June ones now even get canceled. Some have moved on to be online, like one of our favorite shows, Kingpins, is moving to a digital format and trying something new. I really applaud them for taking this leadership role of trying to see how we could still connect, because it's very much now about the community staying together. So whether it's the denim community or if it's the activewear community, we all need to collaborate more out of this. And so the shows are trying to come up with other ways of keeping that connection going. But then I have some that are postponed until November, December. I think this is really crazy. One of them got postponed to the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend and into the next week. And I'm like, you know what? We have to still keep a balance. You can't be ridiculous in the time, but this is what will happen is the calendar gets shrunk.
I'm so scared for the fall. I mean, in a good way, because I, you know, my people need to go back to work too. You know, I have all my videographers that are out right now. So in one way, I'm so excited, but then fall is already crazy for us, right?
Yes.
Now, to fit the spring into the fall, like there's only so many hours in a day.
Well, that's just it. I mean, I one show consolidated, so they put like two into one. But you're right. Now, I mean, I see more activity online, digital activity. We have our denim blog that's going phenomenally. Our traffic is up, you know, triple digits there.
Make sure
carved in blue. Yeah. And we launched a new video channel called Blue Lens. This is on YouTube, where we're putting all the denim videos. We're collecting them from different companies and putting them together so you can just kind of watch denim videos all online. And so we've been trying to integrate more digital connections and also through webinars. This has been very big. This week and last week, we've done webinars. We've had a phenomenal response to the webinars.
Oh, that's really fun. I mean, it's going to change. I mean, maybe your travel schedule will get cut down a little bit because people are realizing, hey, what's this Zoom thing now? I don't have to be scared to video conference, and you can be dialed into around the world now.
Yes, definitely. I think the hard part about our business is in how do we adjust for the tactile part of it. You know, the beauty of TENCEL is when you can touch it and feel it.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that all the time, then it's a challenge. I mean, already I had been doing presentations where I was sending from the office,
Yeah.
a box of materials and then connecting through a Zoom or some type of video conferencing. And that was one way of working through it. I don't see that people are going to feel comfortable in July traveling. I think it's going to be at least until September, October. And much of this year is still going to be very tentative. And especially, people aren't going to want to see us from the New York City area.
Exactly.
It's that part's really challenging. So we just have to take it one day at a time, and like we were saying, come up with some of these other tools in order to connect.
Yeah. On the consumer level and the creative level, a part of me is very excited to see the creativity that's going to come out of this time, because a lot of creative people right now, they're stuck in the house with nothing to do but think of ideas and to create. So I can only imagine what's on the horizon in terms of fashion and trends.
I think this is going to be a really interesting time to watch the creativity, and this is what people say. It should be like a renaissance of new ideas
Mhm.
and connecting. For example, like the denim industry hadn't really thought about any kind of workwear, protective wear, and now you have denim mills making fabrics that are going to be used for medical applications, and how fabrics could be treated differently. Even if you look at some of the changes in the design of masks now, people are coming up with all different types of things, whether it's using different fabrics or different designs where it connects instead of to your ears but on a headband. So you're right. I mean, the creatives are being very creative now, and they need to. That's their way of cycling through this. Just like you and I like to talk to each other,
Yes.
creative people will get into their mind, and those new ideas will flourish.
Absolutely. Well, a creative mind that we both have worked with, Valentino Vittori, he developed Arcadia Earth, and that actually is the subject of our newest Hip New Jersey episode, debuting on News 12 Plus on Saturday. We worked on that over the fall. We interviewed you, we interviewed one of
Yeah.
your partners, DL 1961. We also profiled one of your other vendors, Athleta. But let's talk about Valentino and the whole Arcadia concept, because everybody should go and visit his museum once the world opens back up again.
Yes, yes. No, Arcadia was incredible. And we have our video. It's actually on our Carved in Blue YouTube channel, so they can see our video too. And it's funny because I reached out to Valentino because, again, there's a creative person. He's off now outside of New York, and still figuring out because everything being closed. In his mind is, how can I make this bring this into the homes of people, and how do I make it still very exciting? So Arcadia, I think the time was so pertinent too for that topic, because sustainability and how we look at the environment is changing. Basically we've been shut down, and now when we go outside, when we can go for a walk, that becomes a highlight in our day. That's really the treat. And Arcadia is all about that appreciation for the earth, land, water, and trees, which is where we fit into the Arcadia story. And I think, even more, we will come out of this time with a greater respect for the environment and for people.
Absolutely. And then talk about Tencel and Athleta, the connection there.
Yes, yes. So TENCEL has been working with Athleta on several different collaborations, anything from the New York City Marathon to, we did a lot of in-store meetups, and we've also been a part of their 18th Street store, their new studio that they have. And so with Athleta, we did the in-store events in the, I guess we're looking at the fall now when we did those. And it's just a great connection, because Athleta is also about being very responsible in the materials that they choose, and they're very strong in reaching out to their customer base and educating them about the responsibility of not only the materials but in the production. and the people who are making the clothes, so that you actually feel good, not only that you're doing exercising in your Athleta workout wear, but also that the materials have a lower impact.
Yeah, and they're very good in lounging around your house during
Yes,
quarantine life, right?
excellent for loungewear too, for sure.
So finally, Tricia, how are you spending the quarantine time?
How am I spending it? Well, it seems like the days are almost longer for some of the work things, just in coordinating with teams, whether it's in Europe or with our U.S. team. So besides keeping up with the regular work side, I've been doing more workouts myself. My daughter and I have been enjoying some Zoom yoga classes every other day that is done through someone that I know the instructor. So it's good because that's something I would normally do. I do feel like I'm trying to cook more, although not always so successful in that. And so just kind of all back to basics. Been doing a lot of cleaning, so that's also a good thing. And spending a lot of time connecting with family members and friends through video conferencing and phone calls.
Yeah, it's really nice. How are your kids? So your daughter, she goes to Marist, so she's doing
Yes.
online
She's
classes?
moved to online, and so we do have a lot of exchange between what she's learning, what's happening in real life, and how we can help each other out. A lot of tips for Instagram and Instagram Live coming from my kids. And then my son, who's a sophomore in high school, is home, and he's been doing online classes. This week they have spring break, and he's been keeping up with his friends online. But they've actually been very good. I really feel for families who have young kids at home and have to manage their school and entertainment, and when kids can't quite understand what's happening in the world. I think that's really hard. Yeah. And then my husband's been working from home a little bit longer than we have. So it's funny because now we exchange more information about what we're both working on.
Yeah.
And we both say, where does the day go to? And suddenly it's, it's 6 o'clock and time to shut down.
Well, that's my issue. I'm not shutting down.
Yeah.
Because I love what I do, and you do too. So
Right.
you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying.
I do know. I do know.
So now, like, I can wake up, I do a little like Pilates workout thing, and then I just start working, and it can go on and on and on. And
Yeah.
Joe has to like sometimes pull me out because I'm having fun, but I'm not balancing, I guess, as much as I should be.
Yeah, and it's hard because you don't have that physical separation. I think that's when I did better, when it was like, okay, I'm in my office, that's office stuff, and then you're here. But yeah, definitely it's important to get out every day for some exercise. I try to go for a walk in the morning, or in the afternoon I'll try to schedule a call when I know I can walk and talk. And I think that's another way of kind of keeping your mind, because the first couple of weeks it was like, oh, you get so tired.
Mm-hmm.
But it is hard to separate. And there's also a lot online, and you and I are always looking at social media things. You're trying to keep up with that,
Yeah.
understand, where everyone's at. And I have a lot of customers too that are around the world. So what's happening in Pakistan and Bangladesh and Turkey, and that's important for me too, to understand what's happening around the world.
Absolutely. Well, Tricia, this was so fun. You can
It
come to
is
my
always
lecture
great.
anytime.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's always great to chat. And we'll be doing our videos together soon, I hope.
know. I can't wait to see you in person. And I hope that day
Yes,
comes soon, even though it might
it
be
will.
later. That's okay.
Yeah. We'll be wearing our masks,
We'll be
but we'll
married
figure
for
it out.
TENCEL masks. I
Yeah,
can't wait.
exactly.
All
Thanks
right.
so much, Lisa Marie.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you. Have a
All
great
right.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.